So for our second enhancement, we have the standardized user settings with ease. So the copy user settings dialog box make it easy to copy settings from one user to multiple other users. So for example, you'll be creating a template user for different access configuration, then copy the user access from one of the template user to one or more other existing user when you need to set up or change user configuration. So again, going back on the administration and tab, again, go on the user administration page, again on the user section, again on the action button, go on the copy user settings. Okay. So from here, you can easily copy the settings of one user. For example, I'll be copying the settings of the planner one, for example, or for the user. Okay. So for example, we have the inactive user and I want it to copy that. Okay. Let's change planner one and I want to copy the settings of the planner one to user, for example, or for the administration na lang. And admin 2. So from here, and the settings you can copy are gathered into the following group. So we have here the module access, resource access, user interface view, the global security, the project access, and lastly, we have the user preference. Okay, so if you want to copy the module access of the planner one to the specific user you're going to add, just simply check the checkbox here. So for example, I want to copy the global security, also the project access, and global project access and the resource access of planner one. I just simply click this one. So you can also copy one or more group of the settings to other user, and at the same time, you can prevent those user from being able to change their preference. So if you notice, if I check this preference and I simply click this restrict user from editing preference, they are not allowed to change their preference. No? So yan. Okay, so once you click apply, it will apply to the admin to user po. So next we have the summary bar label roll up data fields. So in the bar dialog box of the activity view, the label field on the summary bar show the value of the fields at the grouping level. So if, for example, if your view is grouped by WBS and you selected the activity count, then the summary bar will be labeled with the number of the activity in the group. So for example here, let's go with, and I'll be going on, and from my activity window here, if you notice on the summary level, I have now the activity count on the summary bar field label. So to do that one, go simply on the custom view, and from the custom view, go on the bar tab, and from here, select the field data or the data field for the summary bar and also for the current summary or on the data field of the activity. Then select here the label field. So from the label field, kindly select activity count for both bars po. So for the summary and the current bar. Okay, so once doing that, save. Then on your Gantt chart view, it will now show you the total or show you the roll up data field of the activity count. So next we have drag milestones and remaining early start dates on the Gantt chart. So you can drag milestone on the Gantt chart view of the activity page to apply a start on or after constraint to the activity. A start on or after constraint allows your milestone to be held in the place at the future time unless you schedule logic push it later. So going back on our activity view, and for example, I'll be dragging my milestone. For example, here I'll be selecting this one or and finish milestone. If I drag this one, so this activity constraint window will appear or will prompt you. So would you like to add a start or after constraint? So that's how you will apply. If you not, simply click no. If you want to apply the start on after constraint, just simply click the yes. So for now, let's exit that one. And also from here, we can also drag the remaining early start of an in progress po, mga in progress activity bar on the Gantt chart to a later date. So if the remaining early start is after the actual start date, you can also drag the remaining early start to an earlier date back to and including the actual start date for the activity. So from here, let's select a ongoing activity. For example, here, and so from here, I can now drag the remaining start or the remaining early start or push it back. Yan po. So pwede rin forward. And so dragging the remaining early start does not apply a constraint to the activity. Therefore, the scheduler can override changes that you can make by dragging the remaining start date of an activity. So you can go back this one or cancel the changes. Yes. So next is easy access to audit data. So this one, you can view the table auditing data per project on the EPS page. So the audit panel show the changes made in the selected table in your prepared time period. You can customize the time period you want to view, include or exclude table from the view, filter the data, and fit directly the panel. So okay, going back on our web application, and let's go on the EPS page. Okay, so from here, select an project. For example, I'll be using this one, my audit project, and click the raw action button. And from here, look for the view audit data. Okay, so once you select this one, the audit data field will appear. So for example here, I have added a WBS on this part or on this project. If you notice, it has the audit date, and you can also see what project ID, the attribute. So for example, it's a WBS and the new value of this WBS and who added these changes. So you can easily check and what operation. So for example, this one is add. So I can see this one is add. So for the time period, and you can select, for example, you want to view the changes for this week. For example, just simply change the time period. So for now, I'll be using this one since I changed it last week. So but I can modify this one up to this date. Yeah, so up to this date, these are the changes. And from here, you can also filter. Okay. You can also filter those information. If you want to focus, for example, on the activity addition, for example, just use the filter. And also on the subject area, you can also C. For example, I want to focus on the activity for the project, for the WBS, and for other project data. So again, to run this one, you must set up the table auditing and run the publish audit data global scheduled service at least once before this data will be visible. So you need first to set up the auditing services of EPPM. Next, we have exclude secure codes when pasting data. So you can select not to include security code assignment when performing the following action. So first, cutting and then pasting project activity resources or role. Second is copying, then pasting project activity resources or role. And so for example here, we will be copying a project. For example, I want to copy this one. So copy, and let's paste it on a different EPS. And so from the copy project template option, if you notice, you have here the secure project code. So you have the option to exclude this one. For example, you don't want to exclude the project codes, the activity codes with the secure code, and also for the assignment codes. So for the others, you don't know what is the secure code. So when we say secure codes, this is a code that only an authorized user can modify or delete them. So this one is a secure code. So no one can modify those codes unless you have the authority to change or delete those given codes.